There is a new forecast on economic growth from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And in it, the group says tariffs will drag down the North American economy. The growth rate in Canada will fall from 2% this year to 0.7% next year. For more on this, and this year, let me include that. John Manley, chairman of Jefferies Canada and a senior advisor at Bennett Jones, joins us to talk about this. John, thanks very much for your time.
My pleasure. Hi.
So under this forecast, Canada will squeak out some growth, and this is based on a 10% tariff almost across the board from the U.S. Is that the most likely scenario you see at this point?
I think it's very hard to predict what President Trump is going to do. As everyone knows, these numbers change day by day. Threats change and vary. I'm an optimist. I believe that of all the powers that the presidency has, and we've seen them demonstrated with these issues of executive orders, he does not have the power to suspend the rules of economics. And that means that in very short order, the imposition of very steep tariffs is going to cause a slowdown in the U.S. economy and is going to result in a bump in inflation in the United States, and that therefore that discipline, which will be demonstrated by the markets as well as they have been, and by prices, will force him to reconsider and maybe reduce his appetite for some of these bigger numbers that he's been talking about.
Of course, he doesn't want Americans to get hit. He thinks it will look bad on him. But I'm wondering how quickly you see prices rising after April 2nd if this takes effect.
Oh, well, they'll rise almost immediately. Whatever the inventories are in various segments will be depleted within a short order. And so the prices will start to go up right away.
Okay.
So I think that's particularly true in the area of groceries, where, inventories typically are shorter than they are in some of the finished goods. But I don't think you'll have to wait very long before you see prices rise.
That being said, then, is Ottawa taking the right counter approach with the dollar for dollar sort of retaliatory tariffs?
I think it could be a little bit. I understand the politics of that, and it sounds, that's what we've got to do because, if they hit us, we're going to hit them back the same way. The truth is, if we believe the tariffs are negative on both sides, we should be very, very selective about any tariffs we apply to goods coming into Canada. We should make sure that we are not imposing unnecessary costs on Canadians and creating hardship for Canadians. So I think we can be a little bit choosy about that. I'd be less concerned with dollar for dollar than I would be with picking those areas where we know it will draw attention and areas that are quite honestly not essential. I mean, when Doug Ford's taking all the wine and spirits off the shelves in LCBO, we can drink something else. That's not a big hardship for us. But adding to the cost of fundamental groceries that we need to acquire, probably not good.
Okay. Does Ottawa need to work more in lockstep with Europe and even Mexico so that there is a sort of stronger numbers approach?
Absolutely. And I think that the visit by Prime Minister Carney to France and the UK is a very wise use of the limited amount of time that he has available. I wish he could stop in Mexico City as well. I think we need to build those alliances. We need to understand that, this glorious 35 years of free trade that we've enjoyed with the United States since the free trade agreement was entered into in 1989 is over. That even if we get a renewal of the USMCA, we cannot trust the United States not to unilaterally abrogate it again, as they've already done in the case of the return of Donald Trump.
Given that timeline, though, with the review scheduled for next year and Canada trying to pivot away from the American relationship, is it feasible to come up with some supply management that will change the forecast easily for Canada? Meaning, is that enough time, really, to do that pivot that Canada wants to do?
No, we're not being given the luxury of time. I appreciate the fact that the Prime Minister calls his cabinet a war cabinet. We are in a very challenging situation, and we need our leaders to speak the truth to us. These are nothing here is going to be easy. And as we see Mr. Carney go to London, the greatest wartime leader of the 20th century was Winston Churchill. And what did he promise his people at the beginning of that conflict in World War II? Blood, toil, sweat, and tears. I didn't hear anything about middle income tax cuts in that promise. It's going to be tough, and it's better that we tell Canadians the truth, tell them that we're going to have real challenges meeting our budget targets, getting the revenue that the country needs to continue to maintain our current standard of living until we find alternative markets for our goods.
What other action do you expect from Mr. Carney on the trade war?
Well, I think that he should focus on getting the Canadian economy where it needs to be. And lots of people have been talking about that. I'd say there's three parts to that. There's one, what are we doing with the internal economy? I don't just mean interprovincial trade. I mean the length of time it takes us to issue permits, the regulatory complexity, the overlap and duplication that adds costs to business and which reduces our productivity, as well as the diversification of our trading partners. Getting our products to other markets means building pipelines to get oil and gas because they are big income earners for us to markets other than the United States. And then we've got a third advantage sitting here looking at us, and that is that there's an entire sector of high-skilled, highly trained people in the United States that are going, oh my gosh, what's happening here? They may be medical researchers, they may be AI researchers, they are scientific specialists and professionals. Let's bring them in. Let's open our doors to them. Let us just take over that treasure trove of medical research and scientific research that Donald Trump is turning off and build it here in Canada. It's a one-time opportunity for us.
On the 51st state suggestion, you wrote a tongue-in-cheek piece recently. What's your gut reaction to this suggestion by Donald Trump?
I think he's serious. I must say, when I wrote that piece, I didn't really think he was serious. I thought it was a kind of a ludicrous thing that maybe got out into the public domain. He thought he'd run with it for fun. Now I believe that he's serious about it. And I think that we need to take it seriously. So our reliance on the United States, not just as an economic partner, as I was saying, but also as a security partner, now has to come into question. We have to look at them not necessarily as an enemy, but as a potential adversary.
Is it concerning to you? And we're not wanting to say adversary, we're still saying potential adversary, but do you see it going that direction?
I'm deeply concerned by what I see happening in the United States on a whole series of levels. And I think that if we want to maintain our sovereignty, we need to assume the worst and hope for the best. So I think we have to make preparations. I mean, let's face it, I'm telling a lot of my American friends this. Look, I'm sorry, I'm too old to join the reserves. I think the age limit is 56, but I'll join the resistance in my neighborhood. Don't even think about it. Of course, the United States could take over Canada militarily, but it will come with some cost and with a great deal of resistance, because Canadians at their core are proud of our distinctness. We're proud of the country that we built, and we're not going to be taken over easily. So, think about that. You've got the best of all worlds by having a close friend and ally on your northern border that is in no way a threat to you. Why would you want to turn it into a hostile relationship?
All right. On that chilling note, John Manley, sir, I'm going to leave it there, but it did give me chills.
Sorry not to be more cheerful,
It did give me
these are
chills.
tough times.
Just the fact that, it's a serious topic that it's still hard to believe that we're discussing. But thank you so much for taking some time, sir. Thank you very much.